I don't know why you can't hear me.
I can hear you now. Oh, now you're muted.
Yeah. Oh, there you
Okay.
go. Yeah. I don't know why you couldn't hear me. I didn't change anything. This is very strange.
That is
I,
very
I,
strange.
I, I woke up on time and then I thought, oh, I'm just going to lie a little bit. And the next thing, I got the message sound from you. It's like, wow, that was really wild. I, once I wake up, I almost never fall asleep right away again, which I was awake, I don't know, earlier, like, I don't know, an hour or two earlier before my alarm went.
Mm-hmm.
And I was awake for a long time, and I just dozed off right as the alarm went. So, oh, anyway, who knows?
Uh,
It was so strange.
I've done
But
that
I'm glad you. I'm
before.
glad you. I'm glad you. Hello, Jeff. Yeah. How are
Yeah.
you? How are you? How are you? How's the job going? How's the job going?
I mean, right now, yeah, I'm still case manager, which is fine. I mean, it's going decent. I have, one employee who is under my supervision, who likes to manipulate and not, work his shifts like he's supposed to, and tries to go behind, um, the case management's backs and, contact other employees and essentially manipulate them. He is definitely a BMN.
Oh wow. Well, that's kind of
Yeah.
good in a way. It's good to have practice, to deal with them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I'm learning to stay very, stern and assertive and, you
Good.
know, just
And the
let him know
way.
that this basically what I told him. I said, we all would love to get off of our shifts early. However, that is not the case. We cannot. You have to remain in your shift the same exact, and he goes, the same times that you're, scheduled to.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, why'd you fuck up what I had going on with Alex? I said, I didn't fuck anything up, for one. I
Yeah.
said, for two, Alex was afraid to tell you that she did not want to work
Yeah.
at 10 p.m. instead of at midnight. She's been covering for your shifts quite often. I think that you need to work your entire shift.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he tried to retort back to me. He goes, well, then if you're going to be like that, I just won't come in an hour early. I said, that's fine because I didn't expect you to come in at all, until your shift started.
Yeah.
So I never asked you nothing. And then he tried telling like, other people that I told him that today I was going to stay until I was going to come in, yeah, I was going to stay until, like 10 p.m. or something like that, or 8 p.m. or,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I'm like, no, I'm not.
Good. 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 Well, that's exciting.
And then last night I get a call from Jamie, like what she's now the scheduler as well as like the case manager over at the residential.
Uh.
I get a call at 9:30 last night. Mind you, I've already taken my meds by 7 p.m. And I'm, about to doze off when I hear my phone vibrate. I answer my phone and it's Jamie asking me to come in from the midnight, 12 p.m. to, uh 12 12 to 12 essentially because I'd have to go do the overnight there at residential and then turn around and work until 12 over at the new life, the transitional. This is my response to her or to the whole situation. I did a group text. I said, good morning, everyone. I hope all is well. I wanted to let everyone know that if you need me to cover a shift, please call me no later than 6:30 p.m. as I take meds exactly at 7 p.m. and that puts me to sleep. I don't wake up until 4 p.m. or 4 a.m. to start my morning. Thank you for your understanding, Jessica.
Wow. Good.
Like, I don't
Good.
know. I'm finding my voice, but not in an aggressive manner, if that
Fantastic.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I'm learning to remain assertive and say, no, this, and that's the other thing, like, too, I've asked like other, or I've been asked like by other clients, and there's this other client that was over at Transitional that just would not leave me alone yesterday. Like, he just kept coming up to the office and was like, you know,
It was all needy.
he was being extremely needy yesterday.
Wow.
And that's the thing, is like, he kept coming up to the office, but he was like obsessed about not having Wi-Fi. And I said, the residents aren't allowed to have Wi-Fi to begin with. And reason being is because so many residents get on, like, Straight Talk and things like that, things that require Wi-Fi, and it bogs our uh stuff down. Like, it bogs our internet down, so we can't use the work computer to do our reports.
Yeah.
And anyway, so the internet was down yesterday. Wasn't able to get any internet until like 2:30 last night or yesterday. And so I was like, basically I couldn't do any of my things. So, like, my reports and stuff. And I have to do them
Internet
this
network,
morning.
right?
Yeah, I got to do this morning. I'm gonna go in this morning and do my reports. But yeah, he kept coming in. I was doing an intake. He was standing there. I looked at him. I said his name, and I said, Rashad, I need you to not come into the office like you are, and I need you to leave. He goes, well, I got this. I said, no, right now, I'm going to stop you right there. I need you to leave the office because I'm in the middle of an intake. He goes, well, I can stick around. I said, no, I need you to leave the office so I can do my intake. He will be sharing personal information that nobody else needs to know.
Wonderful. Good for you.
And so he was like, well, okay, fine. Well, then he left.
Big
And he
man.
comes back after the intake. He goes, how long is it going to be? I said, I don't know. It depends on how many interruptions I get, Rashad.
Brilliant.
And so, like, I say, I'll come get you when I'm ready, when I'm done. Just go downstairs. He goes, well, when you come get, I said, you know what? Not everything has a time schedule. Not everything has a time limit. No, this stuff it is done when it's done. Please go. I'm not going to ask you again.
Good.
And so he did, he finally did leave. And then, like, around like 1:30, he comes back up and starts blowing up verbally about how, I'm the case manager. I should be helping him with this, should be helping with that. And I said, first of all, Rashad, you didn't tell me any of this stuff that you needed help with. So you cannot get mad at me for something that you failed to tell me. It is not my job to
smell what you need.
Basically, it's not my job to supervise his medication. He takes his own medication when he needs to take it. I said, and if you need help learning how to call the pharmacy to have them refilled, then I will help you with that. I will walk you through it. But Rashad, this is the thing, is that the case manager, I can't force your roommates or your housemates to clean their stuff up. We do not need a brand new refrigerator because that refrigerator just has moldy food in it that needs to be tossed out.
Right.
Like, there's nothing wrong with the refrigerator, Rashad.
Yeah.
And he was so adamant on that. And then I'm like, dude, no, we're not getting a new one.
Yeah, just clean it.
Yes. And then he was like, well, it's not my responsibility to tell my housemates to clean up after themselves. I said, technically, as a unit, you guys are. He goes, well, who's you guys? I'm just one person. I said, well, while you're working here or while you're living here, you're responsible for each other.
That's right. That's
It's a
right.
community.
Right. And dude, the worst thing I could do is to clean up your messes and be your parent.
Yeah.
Why? Because then I will be taking away the opportunity for you to
Yep.
grow up and do the shit that you're supposed to do.
He's older than me too.
Right. Well, that's it. Doesn't matter whether he's older or not, right?
Well, I know, but I'm just
Yeah.
honey, you have to do this on your own. Like I had him call. He
Exactly.
was like, he goes, can you call, the car, this certain car like company or whatever? And I said, no, you can,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like
At some
you
point,
can.
you got to start living your own life, dude. You can't have everybody wanting to do stuff on, instead of
Yeah.
you. You got to take some responsibility at some point. In other words, you got to grow up, man. Come on.
Yeah. And he's like, why are you talking so loud? And I said, why are you yelling? And I said, I'm not yelling. This is my normal voice. I have a very loud voice.
No.
But like he kept talking in circles. And he was even doing like, and when Damien and I were trying to, Damien's my boss. And when we were trying to talk, Rashad just like burst through the door, doesn't even knock nothing. I said, Rashad, can you knock the next time, please?
Good for you. Good for you.
And
Good for you.
then Damien, like he was trying to talk to Damien, the dude was talking in circles completely. And Damien's like, dude, I don't understand what you're trying to say to me. I'm confused.
Yeah.
He goes,
Yeah.
Rashad, I'm very confused right now. I don't even understand what you're saying. You're talking in circles. And he's like, but and I told Rashad, I said, Rashad, right now, David and I are in a conversation. Can you please, whatever you need right now, it's not life or death, so you can wait.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then,
Yeah. You know what I would recommend also, Jessica, when you see him, right? And if he does this again, because it sounds like this is something that he does on a regular basis, right? This is his
oh
modus operandi.
yeah.
Okay. So, call him into the office and sit him down, close the door. Like, okay, like now this is like serious. Yeah. And explain to him, say, look, right, I understand what's going on. You're looking to establish dominance and superiority, and this is not the place for it. This is not appropriate. And it's not going to work. So cut it out. All of the stuff that you're doing, the interruptions, the this or that, all of it is you looking to have some kind of dominance or superiority or aboveness or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But this is not the place for it. This is not where it's going to happen. And it's going to be a futile quest. All you're going to do is you're going to end up ostracizing yourself and making yourself to be a pain in the ass. And that's all that the end result is going to be. You're
Oh
not
yeah.
going
He
to
tried
succeed.
telling me it was
So
my
yeah.
job to figure out his meds, and it was my job to figure out how to call these people that, like for his car and stuff. I said, no, it's not my job to do that.
Right, right. Again, all of that is about dominance, right?
Oh yeah.
He's trying to get you to do stuff for him. Say, I'm not going to be your bitch in here. Forget it.
No, this isn't
It's not
prison, honey.
appropriate. That may have been how it worked in prison, but this is not going to happen here. And you need to get out of that. You got to learn to collaborate and cooperate, work with people, and you've got to learn to take personal responsibility. That's probably why you were in jail in the first place, because you couldn't take personal responsibility because of all this
No,
bullshit thinking, right? So no, this is where you need to change that bullshit thinking. So I'm aware of what it is you're trying to do, even if you aren't exactly aware. So cut it out.
I
Change.
like that.
Change. That's it. You're
I'll do
reading the
that
right act.
today
And,
instead
and
of
if he
no
starts
nothing.
just shut it. I'm not interested in your opinion. I'm telling you how I see it. Whether you like it or not is irrelevant. It doesn't matter whether I'm right or not. It's irrelevant. Right? This is me. I'm doing my job and I'm in my situation. You got to do your shit. That's it. And if you don't like it, tough shit.
Mm-hmm.
End of story. Right? That's it. You're just basically reading the riot act. I don't have to be right. This is not about me being right. There's no argument here. I'm telling you what it is. That's it. It's not about right or wrong. Right? So because he'll try and argue it. I'm not interested in an argument. You're here to listen to me, and that's it. You can go and think about it. And if you really have anything strong objections and points you want to make, write them down. Right. So anything that he can, when he go, say, go and write it down and bring it to me in written form. It's another thing that you can do with him, right? Because if he's going to write it all out, well, first of all, you can scan it real quick and see if it's bullshit, and it can go to file 13, right? Other than that, I doubt if he will write it out because it commits him. You see, you've got it on file now, right? And you can say, oh yeah, you can hold him to it. See, so I doubt if you'll write it out. Plus, it's a pain in the ass to write shit out like that. So this will just put an end to all of it. So, okay, I'll listen to you, but I can't right now. You write it down for me, and then leave it over there some other place, and I'll come and pick it up.
Yep. Well, and he was telling me to not use big words. And I said, that's how I talk.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
if you need, if you need a definition or explanation of a word, feel free to ask what that means. But
and look it up in the dictionary, for fuck's sakes. I mean,
yeah, and I said, and you can look it up in a dictionary, you can do any of that, but I'm not going to stop using big words just because you don't understand them.
Right, exactly. It's your job to learn them, not my job to not use them. There you go.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And
I mean,
so
elevate yourself. Elevate yourself.
oh yeah, and that's what I've been doing, but I love what you had said, and I'm definitely going to do that today because but I will be in the 10 o'clock meeting. And I'm just going to let, the guys know, especially Rashad, you cannot come up to the office. I'm in a session right now. You need to go away.
Right. But call it. Say, Rashad, enough of your dominance games. This is inappropriate. Go away. Come back when it's appropriate.
Oh yeah. And he tried talking to me about the fact that I'm a lesbian and why do I gotta do men like that? And I'm like,
what the fuck,
you can
dude?
go. Yeah, I told him, I was like, you know what, you can go.
Yeah. And again, you've got two tactics. One is say, look, dominance games. This is about superiority. You're looking to put yourself above me and push me down below you. I'm not interested in those games, and I'm not going to play them, and they're not appropriate here. Secondly, if you've got something that you want to say to me, write it down. From now on, you've burnt all your chances of talking, right? You've used them up. You've overextended them. And so now you're on writing only. So whatever you want to say, you want to come and tell me how, or like this whole thing about how you're going to do men and all this. If he has to write this out, I doubt if you'll be able to. I truly doubt if you'll be able to. Because that bullshit is going to come back at him. And it's like,
he's going to have to be honest.
Right, exactly. Plus, you're going to say, what you got to say to me, if he's talking there, it's anybody can come and listen to it, right?
Well, and that's the thing is, one thing I know about BMNs is they don't like stating the truth. And reason being is because that means that they have to be honest with themselves.
Right. And they don't want to be held accountable. And bullshitters, that's why, in the book, you'll see the bullshitters, they never to admit. You see, so when you write it down, somebody can come and hold you to it. They never want to be held to anything. So that's a way to shut him up, is to say, nope, no more talking. That's it. You want anything to say, you write it down. That's it. You've used up your chances for talking and abused them. And that's it. So now you don't have that privilege anymore. Nope. Write it down. Right.
Yep.
And you just, hustle him out. That's it. Close the door on him, whatever you have to do to
I'm going to lock the office door today.
Yeah. Yeah. And don't listen to him at all. Right. So, and if he comes banging on the door, say, write it down and shove it under the door, and I'll read what you have to write. I'm busy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that's the thing too. And I'll do that. And reason being because I like how you phrased that.
Yeah.
And it really gives me ideas as to how I'm going to approach this today, because he definitely caused me. No, he didn't cause me. The fact, his personality, and right now at the BMN, and I now know also why Jeff, my employee, caused me so much anxiety. And he tried telling Alex that I was crazy, and I'm like, and he always wanted to tell me, just shut the fuck up, I already heard you, 1,000 times. And I'm like,
Well,
hey,
him
but
too. Put him
yeah.
on the writing also. Sorry, carry on. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, you're fine. And that's the thing too, is like I'm like, I now know why. At first I wasn't like, I thought at first it was because Jeff was just so high strung and just out there.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, I now know why. The dude is a so any male or female who is a fast talker in that sense,
Yeah.
nope, not listening. I shut down instantly because I know exactly who you are at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. I mean, you're looking to bullshit me, and I'm not going to be bullshitted. I'm not going to be manipulated. I'm not going
Mhm.
to play dominance games. This is not about better or worse. That bullshit, that's prison shit, and it doesn't belong here. And that's what gets people into trouble is all this kind of crap. So,
Yep.
nope, sorry, not interested. And we're not going to do that here. If you want to, I'm not sure when, but within the next week or so, I'll be having a free day for the book. It's got to do with the reading group, and people are reading my book, and then they leave me reviews. I read other people's books. We can't read each other's books, but anyway. So then
Mhm.
I'll make the book free for those authors, but I'll let you know. And they do have internet, you said, yeah?
Yeah, we have
Okay.
internet.
All right. So on that day when I make it free, because it'll only be for one day, you can
Mhm.
use the link. You can give it to all of them, and then they can download the book. Get it on. They can read it. I know it's Kindle, but you can get Kindle readers on either your phone or laptop if they're using a laptop. So they can read it. They don't have to have a Kindle, right? You can read it without a Kindle. So
Yeah.
anyway, and then they can read the book and say, look, this is not what we're going to do here. You got to break out of this shit, this thinking, this crap, this dominance and superiority and chicken game and all this crap, right? And the bullshit.
Yes.
That's it. I mean, the book really, like your book is still called The Psychology of Bullshit, which is a better title than the one now, but I can't use it because they wanted me to advertise it. So it's
Yeah.
whatever. Um, so
The
anyway,
appropriateness of wording on the internet these days, everybody's so sensitive.
yeah. I can have the book titled that. I just can't advertise it.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was titled that because you bought it and everything, but I can't make an ad that has the word bullshit in it.
I
Oh,
know.
and because the book has got the title, then it's just stupid. But anyway,
Oh yeah.
so what
No,
can
I
you do?
hear you.
What can you do? Um, but still, I mean, then they can get the book, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be free. It'll be free. So. And that will save you a lot of time and trouble. So this is not what we're going to do here, right? We're not going to play these games. No dominance, superiority, freaking chicken pecking order games. No, that's not
Hmm.
what it is, right? We're going to operate on a system of respect,
Yep.
right? This is it. Respect, personal responsibility, integrity, and impeccability, in other words, right? So, but
Yes.
impeccability is a very deep word. So I just use integrity in situations like that, where people aren't familiar with what impeccability means, because otherwise they go look it up and it means to be without sin, and they'll think you're religious or something and get the wrong idea. So
Hmm.
let's say integrity, instead of impeccability for the meantime. Honor, responsibility, integrity, respect. Those words you can all use. We're going to be honorable, treat each other with respect, and behave with personal responsibility. All right, that's it. Personal responsibility. That's huge. You can't mess with that.
Hmm. Well, and that's the
Go ahead.
thing too, is that like Damien's already like when he would did walkthroughs, because apparently Jeff does not check on the residents, nor does he tell them that they have to, when it's requested, that they have to clean their apartments. And I did a walkthrough completely when I think it was like Wednesday, and I checked everybody's apartments and I made sure that, like, I was looking around seeing what needs to be done.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then then on top of that, Damien's already said, per Damien, I even put that per Damien, please do this.
yeah. That's very
And
good.
talk to these people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, then, of course, then, Jeff doesn't talk to the people, and Damien already did a walkthrough, and while he was doing the walkthrough the next morning with me, because he's like, hey, come with me, I'm going to do the walkthrough. I was like, okay, I bet, we can do that. So he goes into one of the apartments. I mean, this apartment, the minute you open the door, it's rancid. It's bad.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then their bedroom is even worse.
Yeah.
And so Damien literally told them, like, you guys have got to work together to clean this place up, because honestly, this smell never smelled like that. And I do remember it never did, because I
Yeah.
personally cleaned that apartment when we first opened it up.
Wow.
And that's the thing, is like, and I told them, and Damien was like even saying, this is like you walking into my house and you're disrespecting me. He goes, I
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
bought, I used my money for this place. I bought this place. This is
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah.
And, and that's the thing, is like Damien also told them, if you don't have it cleaned up by 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, then all of you guys are out. All of you.
And what
And
happened? And what happened?
they cleaned up their stuff.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
No.
And then, but I was also reiterating that to Rashad, and Rashad's like, well, I can't make them do anything. I said, no, but you can suggest, hey man, like, we're going to get kicked out. And so today, when I get them all in the same apartment, because I know both of them are going to be there today, I'm going to let them know, per Damien, if you guys do not clean out that fridge, if you do not disinfect that fridge, we don't need a new refrigerator. It just needs cleaned.
Yeah.
So, if you don't do that, then Damien will kick you guys out.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's always all about this me, individual. And I'm like, no, when you guys live together, you're living as a unit.
Yeah. You got to learn to cooperate and collaborate.
Yep.
Right. And let them know and say, if this turns out, if I find out that somebody's being bullied into doing shit, everybody else is going to be in trouble.
Yep. Well, and that's
Right?
the thing, is
That's
because
not going to happen here either. If you now take with the fridge, if you don't know how to do it, fucking draw lots.
Yep.
Right? That's it. Okay, you get the short straw, tough shit. You got to clean the fridge. All right, too bad. Right? And so on. But, there's ways you can do things that you can figure it out. Right?
Yeah.
So this is it.
And
It's on you guys to learn how to live as human beings.
yep. And he even
You're not
like was
animals.
like, well, that's not my responsibility to tell my roommate to clean up his stuff. And I was like, it's your responsibility to hold each other accountable. It's everybody's responsibility. If you live in a space together, then it is your responsibility as a
Right.
team to say, hey guys, clean this up. Let's clean
Right.
this up. Let's work together.
Right.
It's
It's a
not for each
community
their own.
home.
Yeah. He
It's
goes,
a
well,
community home, right?
yeah,
So the community is responsible. Each individual is therefore responsible, and so is the whole community. That's what
well, yeah,
community
because
means,
if one
right?
person
You are
doesn't do what they're
responsible for each other.
Yeah, but this is the thing. This is his whole thing, and I had to laugh at this. You know what I mean? And I didn't laugh outwardly, but I laughed internally. He goes,
Yeah.
"Well, I don't know him. Nobody introduced me to him." I said, "No, it's not. No, it's not anybody's responsibility to introduce you to people. You
Yeah.
have to introduce yourself."
Yeah. Ask him questions rather. Say, and what on earth was stopping you from introducing yourself?
He's like, "I don't know how to talk to people." I'm like,
And well, again, ask him the question. And
mm-hmm.
what is stopping you from learning how to?
Yep.
Are you trying to tell me, since everybody else can do it, that somehow you can't? I can hear you talking. I see you as a person. Of course you can. You just got to learn how. That's all. Right.
Yep.
So, bullshit. That's it. Just say, stop right there. This is just bullshit. Sorry. I'm not going to tolerate this kind of bullshit. If you can't do it, you freaking learn. There's nothing wrong with you that you can't learn. Right? If you can talk, you can learn. It's as simple as that. Right? I mean, you know how to bullshit. So, well, that means you can think. Yeah. Right?
Yep.
But ask him questions. Whenever he says stuff like that, ask him a question where he's now forced to think about like why not, right? Because then he's got to now justify the bullshit, and that's not always so easy, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then it collapses, and it saves you a lot of trouble and time and shit. And also say, write out the answer to that. Don't tell it to me. Write it down. Right. Make them really write stuff down. Not just this guy, pain in the ass,
Everybody.
but everybody, right? But if somebody's generally being good and respectful and they come with an earnest question, there's no bullshit. Okay, you can make an exception. But other than that, write it down. If they get into this habit of writing it down, they're going to have much less questions, much less bullshit, because we know now that bullshit, when you write the bullshit down, it implodes and collapses, and it's not quite as wonderful, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, it
and
really
then you
made him
can
think
take,
too.
let's say this Rashad goes on about the whole lesbian thing, right? Do you have a notice board?
Yeah.
You pin that whole thing up on the notice board, and you say to everybody else, okay, all of you guys, you read this and you write a response to this. I want to hear what you've got to say. Don't say, correct him or whatever. Just, I want to hear your response. Now he's going to have the whole house basically writing and putting up a thing next to his, which saying, dude, what the fuck is up with you? It's like, how childish or lame or stupid or whatever, right? And now he's going to be really held accountable, right? And this is very powerful. It's very powerful,
Yes.
right? So now you
Well,
have
no,
a group discussion, but in writing, because if it's verbal, it's going to end up in an argument, right? But in
yeah.
writing, it doesn't end up in an argument. Yeah.
I do have to be careful with some of these guys though, because they can get very aggressive.
Correct.
And
Correct.
so
That's why
yeah,
it's
I do have
down.
to be
Right.
careful.
Right. Right. But I mean, you can edit it now. I don't know if you can make a public place for them, like create a Facebook group that's a private group. You know.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be able to.
Uh,
Yeah, it's against policy because of HIPAA.
ah. Okay. Well, I mean, that
Yeah,
way, I was thinking of a place where they can be anonymous. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So, yeah,
No, I think the biggest thing too is that like um with some of these guys, the less the less you speak about things like, okay, so when I told him you can leave now,
yeah,
and I didn't show any emotion. I said you can leave now,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Oh,
Um
perfect. Wonderful. Wonderful.
yeah, and by not engaging in that,
Yeah,
you know, I
correct.
basically I showed him that I'm not talking about it.
Yeah, yeah. And
It's
you're not
not your
playing this game.
business.
Exactly. There's no need for you to respond to it or whatever. Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, and
And
that's
that's
the
that.
thing too,
Yeah.
is that like they really, 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 really like to um like if you engage, if you say that's not an appropriate question,
Then they get in an argument. Right.
well, no, they get off on that because they know that means they know they affected you.
Correct. 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 Yeah. So it's all about dominance. That's why I said to him to call it.
Yeah,
All of this crap, it's not that you actually have a need or content, or it's all about you trying to establish dominance. I know what you're trying to do, and it's not going to work. It's not appropriate. It's not. If you want to find a way to get yourself out of here, well, now you're doing a good job about it, right?
yeah,
So just give it up. That's it. And once they know that what it's about, the whole thing is that shit is not for you, right? This is a
yep,
different system, right? Yeah. Oh,
yep. Because yeah, these guys are very like high, what they call high risk. So a lot of times you have to word things a little bit more
yeah.
carefully so
Yeah.
you don't trip that fuse. Because some of these
Yes.
guys have severe mental health
Oh yeah.
issues
Oh
too
yeah.
at the
Oh,
same time.
capital D diplomacy is absolutely number one. Yeah. I mean,
Yes,
I'm just suggesting the key idea, how it gets
yeah,
presented, that you have to take it by the moment. But you have
and
to be
I'm
careful, right?
yes,
With capital D diplomacy, yes, you have to be very diplomatic, but you cannot also be weak. Yeah.
nope,
So capital D diplomacy is all about adamance. Yeah. And
mm-hmm,
we can be adamant, which is not being aggressive.
nope,
If I'm adamant in my position, you can't move me, but I'm not fighting you either, right? I'm
uh-huh,
being the rock. And that's it. I'm the unmovable rock, and that's it. You can be the unstoppable wind, but when you meet the unmovable rock, well, then you can't go any further, right? So adamance is about saying it's about respect. Yes, that
yes, it is definitely
that
about
that
respect.
I'm respecting myself, and this is the issue. And you
Mm-hmm,
asking me to not respect myself. This cannot happen. So
yep,
it's got nothing to do with you. When they see this and realize this, then it becomes futile, right? They're pushing, right?
yep,
And so This is a way you get around that, and you break the game, because it's a chicken game. In their psychology, their entire lives, they have been told that you've got to dominate, you've got to pull people down to be better than them. All this, everything in the book is their religion, right?
Yep.
That's what they've been taught from young, right? This they believe
Mm-hmm.
is right. This is how the world is supposed to be. So, and they got to get out of that. Now, it may take a little while, but the point is, it's not about playing the game better than them. It's about letting
No.
them know that this game does not work on me. Yeah,
Yep.
I don't play it. It's like they're horses in a horse race, right? And
Mm-hmm.
all running in the track. Well, the idea is not to win the race. The idea is just to cross the infield from the starting point to the end line. You walk across the infield and you get there long before them if you don't play the game, right? So that's the analogy that I've always used for myself, is where I thought of it when I was a kid. It's like, why play the game? You can just cross the infield and you get there ahead of things. And then they see, wow, you're waiting for them and they're fighting and getting all this effort. It's like, wow, there are easier ways to do things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the point too. Yeah, but capital diplomacy in a situation like this is absolutely
Yes.
key. Which
Yeah.
means,
And
right, one thing I want to say for capital diplomacy that will help you tremendously, and this came up with Sher too, is anticipation, right?
yes.
Is to practice anticipation. Make this your personal, like, real pressure, right? Anticipate,
Yeah.
anticipate. Always be anticipating. Be one step ahead. So, like Rashad, before he's even opened his mouth, he said, "Well, write it down, please. Thank you." Off you go.
Yeah.
Wow,
Well, and
that's it.
that's the thing too, is I like whenever he said, whenever I went outside to do checks and he was there and he was outside or whatever, and I don't
Yeah.
even know why the dude was outside because it was negative 38 below. But
Wow. Wow.
yeah. Um but anyways, like I have to go outside to go to each apartment to do checks.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, like he would try to the minute he made a noise, even because my back was turned to him a lot. I wasn't looking at him, and I did not give him the opportunity to, if I looked at him, he would think that you would see that as an invitation.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
anticipated that. So the biggest thing that what I said was, now, right now, I'm doing checks.
Yeah. 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 But now you've got a new thing you can say to him. Write it down.
Yep,
That'll shut him up. Say, I'm not.
exactly.
And then too, when he jabbers, if you said write it down once, yeah, you can say, listen, didn't you hear me? I said write it down. I'm not going to say it again. I'm just going to ignore you. That's it. And then you do.
Hmm.
You just flat out ignore him. Right? You've said write it down. That's it.
Yep,
He'll quickly learn that he's wasting his time. Right?
yep.
Yeah.
Well, and I thought it was funny because when I was very adamant on him leaving because I was doing the and I had to there's so many times like yesterday that I internally just laughed because I'm like, "Oh my
Good.
gosh."
Good.
So he
Yeah.
went.
Good, Jessica. Good. Sorry, I need to emphasize this. You laughing internally. This is your power.
Mhm.
Right? This is your power. If you take this stuff too seriously, it's going to eat you up. So you got to laugh
Mhm.
at it because it's ridiculous, right?
Oh
And if you
yeah.
laugh at people so openly, like when he comes, if you can learn to laugh at it now, to laugh, really, truly, capital L laugh means there's no mockery, no derision, no denigration, nothing
Mhm.
derogatory about it. It's not demeaning, right? None of that applies, right? I think
No.
there's like 4 of those major D's there, right?
Yep.
So this is really powerful. When you truly laugh at the ridiculousness. I remember when we were kids, right? And you're standing in a circle on the playground. And,
Mhm.
the one kid say, oh, you know what happened? And they come with this ridiculous bullshit story. I mean, they're like so unbelievably preposterous that it's like, and everybody just laughs. But the kid was trying to be like serious. They were really trying to push it as if this really happened, right? I mean, they were trying to
Mhm.
sell some bullshit. But all the kids just laugh. And then what does the kid do? Then they're like, yeah, they make out like I was just joking, right? But you
Yep.
started off serious. We all know you were trying to be serious, but it was too stupid and idiotic, so we laugh. And the kids don't have that concern about the laugh. That laughter of theirs is kind of pure in a way, right? Now,
Yep.
okay, so it may be derisive and mocking, but if you can laugh purely, you've got an incredible superpower. Because what's going to happen if this Rashad comes with these bullshit games and you just laugh at him? What's he going to do?
Yeah. Well,
Right?
he
The
might get a
laugh
little
is pure,
upset,
right?
but
I'm saying when it's a pure laughter, when you like truly amused by it, you know, it takes all the steam out of what he's doing. It just sucks it right out. And he's like, well, okay, you know, yeah.
Yeah. Part of that
It's
though,
hard
like,
to
okay,
do
like
though.
I
It's hard
won't
to do.
externally laugh at him because he will take it a whole new level. Um,
Right.
that's
Right.
the thing is like with him, he will take it a completely new level
Yeah.
and will
Yeah.
blow up. And
Right. Right.
so that's
So
why like I internally laugh with him at him, not at him, but laugh about the situation. Because as I was saying, he had then in turn had his roommate come upstairs to tell me that their pipes are frozen in their sink. And I'm like, that can wait. It's not a big deal. It can wait. I'm busy right now. Um,
yeah,
and
I'm not
you
God
know,
yet. I
I
can
was
tell
just
you
more
whether.
so talking about how proud I was of myself for handling the situations because as of
Yeah.
before, I would have just cowered and just would have been more docile. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I
No, it's wonderful.
really,
Wonderful. Wonderful.
yeah. So that's
Yeah.
why I was like talking about the situation, but I love the pointers that you gave me because that helps a lot more too. Um, yeah.
The thing with the laughter is, I realize, I'm aware, acutely aware that it can be very inappropriate. It will require some, shifts, right? I mean, you could just giggle sometimes if the guy's like being silly, right? And it's
Mhm.
like, what you giggling? I say, oh, come on, man. It's like you did this 2 minutes ago, and here you are again. I mean, and then you're like, oh yeah. You see what I mean? It's extreme capital diplomacy, but it's something to be aware that if you can succeed in creating a climate where you can do that,
Mhm.
it's the power of it is unbelievable.
Oh
It's
yeah.
difficult to do. This is one of the hardest things to do, is to have that complete freedom of self to be able to laugh at the ridiculous and laugh purely, right? With no
Yep.
mockery, no derision, no putting things down, and you're not going to trigger somebody. They're just going to have to go like, well, either laugh with you or be a fool. So this is an incredible power, but it's difficult to do. It's very, very difficult to do. So anyway, I
Yeah.
just mentioned it because it's a long-term goal, but some fools give you that chance to do that, when they keep being a nincompoop. So
Oh yeah.
the other thing I wanted to say to you before you go here real quick is,
Okay.
um, that with Damien, it sounds like, you really need to step up the employment practices and not employ people who don't have personal integrity,
Yep.
right? I mean, the employee that you have, right, that
Yeah.
was, this is it. You got crap employees, and I'm saying, you need to bring this up with him. The issue
Mhm.
here is not, there's a lot of issues, but if you don't have employees that have personal integrity, this whole thing's going to collapse. It's not
Yep.
about the experience, not about their skills. It's about their character. You need to employ people of good character. End of story. Doesn't matter if they don't have the skills. They'll learn. This is not a hard job to learn to do this shit. Anybody can learn it, really, right?
Yep.
But they need to have personal integrity, personal responsibility. They have to have good character, in other words.
Oh yeah,
This
no, definitely. And no,
because
they're gonna be here probably. But I have some time. They're gonna be here in 7 minutes, and it's gonna take them a while
you
because
get
the
a
roads
lift.
are
You get a
slick.
lift. Okay, good, 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 good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry I was late. If we need to come earlier, I can get up earlier too. I'm usually awake earlier anyway, so
Oh
it's
yeah,
not a
there's no
problem.
way I could get up earlier.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, because I take a lot of sedatives, like or not a lot of sedatives, but right
Yeah,
now they've
yeah.
got me on some
Oh,
blood
I
pressure
like that
medication.
scarf. Oh, I like that scarf. Yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
This is a proper scarf. Yes, yes. Now, I would recommend you open the buttons and put those two long threads inside. See, like mine, you see?
It'll fit.
Yeah, because
The
then
coats
it
are
doesn't
already tight.
unravel,
Oh,
right?
true. Yeah, the
Yeah.
coats are already pretty tight though. I don't know if it's gonna fit because
Oh,
I'm
it'll
wearing
fit.
a hoodie.
Oh, it'll fit. It'll fit. It'll fit. There we go. You see, now button it back up again, and then it's nice and snug and tight. And yeah, 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 yeah. Can you close the top button?
I'm zipping it up.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Oh. Yeah,
it
I mean
stays
that makes
better.
all the difference when you. I have great staying warm skills. I'm really expert at it. Yeah, yeah.
I can tell.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't like to have the heat up high because it makes my
Yeah.
eyes tired, and then I struggle on the internet. So, by the way, let's see if you can see here now. So so I actually got something, with a vine, which I never would have bought, but it's very handy. Let me see. Let me put on the camera here and flip it around. Oh, come on, flip. Oh, they always show you and not me, and then I can't get me, and it's like I don't know how to do that. There we go. No, still turned around. Oh no, it wasn't.
It was facing the other way. Just double tap
Yeah,
the screen.
I thought I'm looking at me, but I'm looking at the screen. So there we go. There we go. You see this little lamp over here?
Yeah.
I mean, it does give me light, but it's got a special heat bulb in it to like
Oh,
warm the lizard.
nice.
So it's right above my mouse here, you see. So
Yep.
that was the only part that was getting cold was my hand. So now no more problem with that. This came yesterday, so it's just very cool. It's very cool.
That's
There we go. We
awesome.
can
I love that.
you can
Yeah,
you can
this scarf was
see my
actually
whole setup over here. You see?
oh, that's awesome. I was
Yeah.
always wondering. I'm like, he's got to have multiple screens because he's got all this ability to do all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, he's got multiple screens.
Ah, you got to multitask. You got to multitask. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Very, very important. Yeah.
Yeah,
I have
no,
fun.
this
I have fun, Jessica. I have fun. That's the key. You got
oh
to
yeah.
have fun with all this stuff.
Oh
So,
yeah.
what I'm so thrilled about is that you are in a situation where you are getting to practice and apply. So, yes,
Yes.
I know you don't want to be the case manager, but hang in there. I think it's very appropriate and necessary. And plus, where's your beanie, by the way, or will it mess up your hair?
No, I just haven't put it on yet.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say,
Mhm.
man, that's very key, very important. Right. Anyway, I was gonna say that all the things that you're being forced to do and learn, in this role that you're in now, very important. Plus,
Mhm.
if you are gonna be a case manager for a while, to go into another job, this is either a sideways or I don't know if it's another promotion. But I imagine it would be easier for you to get into the more counseling side of things
Yeah.
from case manager than from tech, correct?
Yep.
So think of it as a stepping stone. Yes?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Definitely.
let Damien know that this is not where you want to stay. He already knows that, but do your job, do it well, and say, look, the moment we can get a replacement, I need to move somewhere else, right? So yeah.
Yep.
And also,
Well, and
by
I
the way,
already let him know that too, and I keep reminding him too, like, and so we've already figured out that like, okay, so Saturday and Sunday I'll work from 4 p.m. to 8 a.m. So it's a 12-hour shift. But at the same time, I told him I said that's fine. I don't mind working a 12-hour shift. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Um, so I said I'd rather do that over at the residential or the at New Life than deal with that over at oh he's gonna be here in 2 minutes now. That was quick. Um but yeah, no, he definitely gets it and we've already have it planned out. We're
yeah.
just right now looking for um a person to take my place.
Gotcha. Oh, so wonderful. Okay, the other thing I was going to recommend is later today on when we do the live, if you can set it up where the group can watch the live and participate and ask questions, this would be fantastic.
I can try because not everybody's there. Like, you know what I mean? And we have a
Yeah,
lot of guys that are sick at
yeah.
this point.
Oh,
But
oh, well, it doesn't matter. Even if it's one or two, that's even better because then it starts small. Because you said you can put it up on the TV, right?
yeah.
If you can do this for the live, this would be fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, this would be
Yep.
absolutely
Yeah.
fantastic. And then, you can hear their questions and pass it on to them or type it, whatever. But, you can verbally pass it on and share the questions. You say, okay, Jack has a question. And then you just repeat Jack's question. This would be fantastic. I mean, because it's involvement and it's something you slowly but surely, bringing me into it and they'll get this new understanding, new vibe and everything. Anyway, I don't want to hold you. I don't want to
Yep.
make you late.
Oh no,
You just
you're
go when you need to go.
fine.
Don't worry about it.
But
Just go
I
when you
just
need to go.
yeah, I'll definitely try. Okay.
Yeah, you're breaking up a bit. Yeah.
Person's here.
Okay. All right. Talk to you later.
If you have to look at this, so
I love that scarf. Oh, too good. I've lost connection with you if you can still hear me. So I'll see you later. Oh, there you are. There you're back again.
oh yeah, okay. You have to look at the stuff. This is fun.
Wow. Wow. Brilliant.
I love
Brilliant.
it. Hi.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic, Erica. You,
Okay, good.
Jessica. You have a beautiful day, and I love your
You too.
application. And truly enjoy yourself being you. It's awesome what you're doing. It's awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes.
Thank you, so.
Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. You
All
are
right.
awesome. All right. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye.
Too wonderful. Too wonderful. Oh, it's all dark. Brilliant. Wonderful, Jessica. Oh man, 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 man. Too awesome. Too awesome. All these magical opportunities to apply. Look how the universe loves you, Jessica. Look how the universe loves you. Yeah, see, getting gifts from the universe. All right.